Hey YouTube, it's ICU and welcome to the 74th episode of Best Tech Info and Rumors. And to start off, I want to talk about the iPad 3 and iOS 5.1. Now, just the other day, it was reported that Apple published a variety of profiles for various iPhone operators, and they're intended for carriers in France, Japan, Greece, Finland, and Sweden. And once the device-specific profile is actually installed and the device is updated to iOS 5.1, then the end user will experience a better network connection and it won't drop off as much. Now, the new connection improving profiles are set to be released on March 9th, and they have multiple references inside of them to iOS 5.1, and that could indicate that iOS 5.1 will be released on March 9th or around March 9th. And now it's going to seem like I'm stepping away from that iOS 5.1 story for a second, but I will actually come back to it. So according to All Things D, Apple will hold their next generation iPad unveiling event sometime within the first week of March. Now, there's inside sources are adamant about this and claim that the event will take place in San Francisco, California. And even though the source didn't provide a release date, just a rough date for the announcement of the next generation iPad, it can be inferred that the iPad 3, or whatever the next generation iPad is actually called, will be released about 1 week after the unveiling of the device. And that's based on what Apple has done in the past with the iPad 2, the unveiling of it, and the release of it. And additionally, if Apple holds the unveiling event for the next generation iPad on March 2nd, then 1 week from March 2nd will actually be March 9th. Now, like I said, iOS 5.1 is rumored to be released on or around March 9th, and it would make total sense if Apple decided to release iOS 5.1 alongside their next generation tablet. And that's actually a really realistic announcement date for the next generation iPad, because the iPad 2 was actually unveiled on March 2nd. So if these rumors are accurate, we could see the next generation iPad and iOS 5.1 within about a month. Also, it was discovered that the split keyboard on the iPad actually has 6 hidden keys built into it. So for those of you that don't know, iOS 5 actually brought the ability to split the keyboard on the iPad to actually make typing easier in certain situations. So part of the keyboard goes to the left-hand side and the other part goes to the right-hand side. And like I said, there are actually 6 hidden keys on it, and the keys actually mirror what's on the other side of the keyboard split. So essentially there's a Y where the T is and the T where the Y is, and it's just next to it. And like I said, it's invisible so you can't see it, but if you tap near it, then it will actually recognize the key that's on the opposite side of the keyboard. And that's just an example of one of the small things that Apple does to improve the end user's experience and to make things simpler. Also, the iOS Open Dev project was recently released to the public, and essentially what it allows you to do is grab Xcode templates and create your own custom Cydia packages and plugins. Now, while it sounds like it could be something easy to do, you do need to know how to actually use Xcode to modify the templates. Moving on, Globe and Mail, Canada's biggest newspaper, reported that the next generation Apple TV could possibly have voice and hand recognition built into it, so users won't even have to use a control to use the TV itself. They also reported that Apple's been contacting different service providers to actually try and get services to the next generation Apple TV before it launches, which is rumored to be sometime this year. Also, I know you've heard a lot about Apple and their growth lately and how they're just completely dominating all of the industries that they're in, but this new information that was compiled is actually extremely interesting. It suggests that in the past 5 years, Apple's profit has grown more than any other smartphone or tablet manufacturer combined. Now, in the first quarter of 2007, it was reported that the combined earnings of the entire mobile industry was $37.93 billion. And for the fourth quarter of 2011, it was a staggering $71.4 billion for the entire industry. However, when you take Apple out of that equation, you take Apple's revenue out of that $71.4 billion, that number turns into $37.97 billion. So there is a huge difference there, and that number is extremely close to the overall revenue for the entire industry for the fourth quarter of 2007. So that just proves that everyone else's profits together remain static. However, Apple's profits continue to grow beyond belief. Moving on, according to Apple insider sources familiar with Apple's designs, a new breed of Mac laptop that combines the portability of the MacBook Air with the sheer power of the MacBook Pro is is set to be released sometime this year in 2012. Now, this will definitely revolutionize the laptop industry because the MacBook Pro is typically seen as a more powerful video editing and graphics processing laptop, whereas the MacBook Air is seen as more of a portable web-based laptop. Now, if you combine the two and you combine the power of the MacBook Pro with the portability and the battery life of the MacBook Air, then you definitely get an absolutely amazing laptop. So while this seems great and like an awesome idea, it's definitely possible that Apple is just testing out the idea of a smaller, thinner, more portable MacBook Pro. And finally, Apple released two new iPhone 4S commercials that are primarily centered around Siri, and the first one is called Road Trip, the second one's called Rock God. They're actually pretty good, and I will have a link to them down below in the more info, as well as links to everything else I talked about in today's episode. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you guys want to be notified every time I release new videos, and I just wanted to say that the giveaway that I'm doing in collaboration with Friday Night Cranks will end approximately 2 weeks from today. So that's the 24th of February, and we will pick a winner then. We're opening it up now, so all you have to do is subscribe to both of us, favorite a video, like a video, and actually leave a comment with a specific phrase, and that phrase is on fncicu.com. So if you go to that website, you will see the phrase, and you'll also get the instructions on how to enter there. Again, you can do it on any of our videos, and you can do it multiple times. So we just wanted to let you guys know that, and that the giveaway is still on. So I hope you guys liked this video, and don't forget, if you want to stay updated, just be sure to like my Facebook fan page, follow me on Twitter, and add me to one of your circles inside of Google+. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.